The Apple TV 4K. Is it worth the investment? Does the system beat out other competitors such as Roku and Google Chrome? Or is the Apple TV just another simple media box with an Apple price tag? These questions answered next on Milton 1T. The new 4K Apple TV is the first of Apple's streaming media boxes to support 4K and HDR. Apple is one of the last players in the market to move to HDR, which is not uncommon for the company, as they usually play the wait-and-see game as they are so famous for. I should note, companies like Roku and Amazon have had their 4K devices out for at least a year. To Apple's defense, the Apple TV is the first 4K box in the market to support HDR10 and Dolby Vision. Although, keep in mind, you will also need a compatible TV to utilize these features, and older TVs do not support HDR and Dolby Vision, only newer models do, so do your research before you buy. Let's talk price. The Apple TV 4K is expensive. The 32GB model starts at $179. This compared to the Roku Ultra, which is $99, and the Chromecast, which is $69. For that big price difference, I think the most important question is, what do you get that would justify a $79 price increase? So let's start with the good stuff. For the entire user interface of the Apple TV, it has been redone in 4K, so you get the best out of a 4K picture. The best picture test we did looked sharp, the graphics are bright, too bright in my opinion, and there's no mode switching, so you can change between apps, shows, and movies with no flicker. That's good. Apple is also selling 4K movies and TV shows cheaper than anyone else. You can buy a 4K movie at $19.99, which is $10 cheaper than other competitors, and you also can rent 4K movies at about $2 cheaper than anyone else. Don't forget, Apple is also providing free upgrades of 4K content when it becomes available, but it will take a while as most shows and movies will need to be remastered before they're available. For the most part, Apple is also moving forward quickly with the process, but Walt Disney is a holdout, so don't look for movies by Marvel or Lucasfilm anytime soon. As for other content, apps such as Netflix, Amazon, and ESPN, which is also owned by Walt Disney, look incredible, and if you are a true sports fan, you can get 4 streams at once with ESPN. So, what all of us envisioned modern TV would look like is almost here. Also, companies such as Vudu, which is owned by Walmart, will be offering their 4K content soon. As for hardware, the remote is basically the same, with a small ring around the menu button so you can feel which button is which in the dark. You also have a faster processor for the Apple TV, so apps can hopefully start utilizing the A10X processor taken from the iPad Pro. Now let's look at the bad stuff. Since Apple TV 4K is a 4K device, the apps that are not in 4K such as HBO Go and Game of Thrones will get reprocessed in 4K. That leads to a blurry TV experience. As for our picture quality, the blacks are too dark and the whites are too light. People have also reported hearing a popping sound when watching TV in Dolby Digital. The reality is, the technology and the 4K content really haven't caught up to each other. You have a television that is running at 4K resolution, displaying content that is many times at 1280p. That is the same as if you were to enlarge a picture, for example. There is a point where you have to enlarge it too much and it no longer looks good. Right now, the gap between 1080p and 4K content is too large. Some televisions have managed to work through lower resolution content better than others, such as Samsung, but even Samsung owners have been disappointed. So the big question is, should you buy one? Here's the thing, the Apple TV is a great idea. Out of all the UIs, the Apple TV has the best. The only other competitors are if you own an Xbox or PlayStation, which are more expensive devices, but they also have more capabilities. Compared to the Roku and the Chromecast, the Apple UI is superior. So who should purchase the Apple TV? The people that will make the best out of the device will have access to 4K content and will have a 4K television. You will also not watch any old shows that are outside of 1080p format. Additionally, you will like to stream Apple content or purchase content through providers such as Amazon, Netflix, and Vudu. Finally, if you are looking to future-proof your hardware, i.e. if you plan to get a 4K TV sometime soon, this would be a great media box for you. Now, who should not purchase the Apple TV? People that like to watch old content outside of 1080p will be disappointed, as old content through Apple TV on a 4K television is a horrible experience. It looks awful. Also, people that have no intentions of upgrading their TV to 4K anytime soon, the Apple TV will be a complete waste of money. Overall, the Apple TV is a good buy for certain people, not for everyone. That's it for now. I'm Milton Clement. Thank you for listening.